Wait. I hear something up.
Oh! This must be another one of those, as sketchy as that whole thing seems. You did put it to good use when we were chasing.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now. But I can still... It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. Indeed. But this we should remain vigilant.
So it's an
The force is definitely coming. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place. Judging from the concentration, I would have to
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon who, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatari. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami...
So what should we...
Step back. I'll open the door and take... If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the... You needn't worry. Both of us have faith...
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary! Paimon would...
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. Yes, let's go. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sent. From this point, the trail appears to split into two. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
To oblivion! Illusion shattered!
Look!
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of... Well, let... According to this letter, a conflict arose because Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long...
So...
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point. Yes, right now, if Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then the...
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, felt for a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to all the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnect. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not...
Wait! You figured it out?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlet. On with the search. We must stay vigilant. not sure. But on closer Show yourself!
Kaede Harakazua. It's you, at last.
Aha! What's your problem, huh? What could...
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is... But what if instead of facing Ame no Mayuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his...
Now that you mention it, it is giving off... Whoa! Shoot!
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical... The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years. Or rather, as a means to occupy Ame no Mayuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition as a descendant of the Kaedehara clan.
I presume it has something to do with the...
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the right. He was a bladesmith of great renown. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world.
So... swords?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant... I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power.
Tell me, what happens to those you've...
My hosts? Who cares what happens to when they got tired or injured or unusable? I hopped to the...
You're off!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. Kaede Harakazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Now...
One with nature!
Shine down!
Jumpy Dumpty go! Boing boing
Submit to me!
Time to go. Into the wind.
Blazing delight!
We shall rewrite history! Submit to me! Do not stand in my way.
Your bluff's fooling no one. You...
Lost. I can never lose, even if you defeat me here. Though he is but a puppet that can be replaced. The end result is the same. I will end, and even if I were to lose my physical form, by any means necessary, and
Your fighting style. But from your movements, I sense only hatred.
Really? You can tell...
As I've mentioned before, the form... Since the blade is currently possessing Ame no Mayuya's body, if you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate single...
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin Art's secrets. The little that... In that regard, why would I ever need...
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point...
Oh, that's right. Paimon remember...
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you find... Well, that brings me to my second point. That you were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition. I think you realized your limitations long ago, but the way I see it...
What would you know about any of this? I'm just...
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance, even if you were to sever that divine light. Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. How could you possibly
Silence, you I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my...
And you should...
Easy for you to say. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not... It is pointless to argue further, descendant.
How stubbornly you stick I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state.
What? Surely you're not...
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross once we have dealt with them.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose...
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Ameno. The Cursed Blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitant. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensive...
But...
Even if things take a turn for the... We have a chance here to save an innocent victim.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance now.
Kazuha?
I felt a little dizzy at first. It's all right. So far, I will.
What should we do next?
We find some enemy, although this blade has endured much turmoil. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot end, if he wants to avoid reality, then we need to...
Wait a minute! Paimon remember since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base.
All right.
What about Amenoma?
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently. Although he hasn't
Are we sure this is a good idea? Okay, fine. Woo! La la la. Da da da. La la la.
Leave everything on this journey to me. The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds come! Into the wind.
How's this? It's a very
The wind knows me.
How are you feeling?
I'm all right. The blade is performing, though he's making every effort to persevere.
Something else?
How strange. Let's keep going. Into the wind. Fallen leaves adorn my night.
for the very lucky day.
One with nature. Time to go.
Feel my blade.
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer.
But what would that do to...
I will be careful with it. He's still trying to...
Look out! Ambush!
One with nature.
It's over!
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call.
Cut down.
Are you okay?
Yes,
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again.
perhaps this time we'll finally...
True form? What are you talking about? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of chip.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even... Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flat. I finally figured out why it was you wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. The only one who truly understood you.
There they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup! We can...
Don't worry. It's just more of the same.
It's your lucky
The
day.
wind knows me.
My blade.
Wind strike. Fallen leaves adorn my night.
You fought way better with...
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and... No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels. No, I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you...
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, too much time has passed. My physical state is yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi.
Actually, this is just a... Forging and maintenance are both important. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years. Skill. Blade. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not... Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you.
I sensed it, but...
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since the moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only... You have known this for a long time.
He gave me everything. How could I possibly do... I said to him, do not... How could I go...
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. When I touched the hilt for the first time, a bladesmith lay quietly on the bed. A newly forged blade lay by his side.
Wow.
Indeed. While in exile, he spent the rest of his life in the forge. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the... So he instructed this sentient blade to find all he wanted to show was that they once...
So that... But after that...
Right. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities. Yes. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. He seems to have calmed down, though.
When I look back at the past, I once told him that I would pay any price to... But darkness and slaughter numb not only Only did I fail to fulfill it.
You are finally seeing reality.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, but I still cannot bring myself to. So, may I ask?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix!
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I.
His attitude. What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, alas, after that, nor have I ever had the chance. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. You are a fine warrior.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Ame no Mayuya and restore his consciousness. You must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and...
Understood. Then let...
I see. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed, if a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I do not wish to be a mere victim.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended with...
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. In any case, for a final duel...
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash. Yep, we still can't let our... Still. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of Ishin art.
Successor of Amenoma art.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
Wind strike! Time to go! One with nature! The wind knows as one with wind and cloud, one with nature. Into the wind. Wind strike.
Thank you for the experience. Although he appears battered and broken, in your hands it seems his sense of savage cruelty has come.
You also fought well. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you.
I must apologize to you for...
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I have the right. It is too late for all.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ish... I beseech you.
Yes, I too trust.
Thank you, successor of Ame no...
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to...
I'm not sure, but I...